Hello everyone, this is Leslie. Welcome to my whole shebang, which is a little bit of everything. I wanted to talk to you today about something I don't know that I've ever really talked about, and that is my knee replacement surgeries. I had a bilateral knee replacement in April 2018, so it's coming up to almost 3 years now. I remember at the time I had it done at a hospital outside of Philadelphia, very, very good reputation, and the doctor telling me that essentially 85 to 90% of the people he treats are very happy with the results, and 10% might not be, 5 to 10%. Well, I was unfortunately one of those 5 to 10%. My son Jack and I seem to always be the outliers, and we're always the people who, if you saw my thing about my calcific tendonitis, which I'll put down in the, I was the first patient my doctor had ever had to do this particular procedure on my left arm more than twice. I always am like the outlier. Anyway, I had a bilateral knee replacement in April 2018. I was a little young to have it done. I had both of them. It happened very quickly. From the start of my first painful, oh wow, what's that in the morning, to my knee replacement was in about 11 months. I won't go through the whole story because if you're here, you may have already be looking at that. I did, again, at the time, I had Synvisc shots. That's SYNVISC. That was mandatory. That did not work. I had cortisone shots first, obviously, that did not work. And I was actually limping. I would describe myself as walking like Quasimodo. I was dragging my one leg. Both of my knees were very bad. I had the bilateral knee replacement in April 2018. For me, that was a huge mistake to have them both done at the same time. I would very much not recommend you ever do two of them at the same time. I am not a medical doctor. Please know that. That is my own personal, everything I'm about to say is my personal information. I'm just sharing this with you. I don't think you should no one should get two of them done. Jokingly, my doctor afterwards said, "Oh, you didn't have a good leg to stand on," which is really not funny because it was really true. You basically are crippled in both legs, and it was devastatingly painful. I was on opioids for the first time in my life for about 6 weeks. It was horrible. I was hunched over because I couldn't stand up straight because my knees, it was a mess. The pain really never went away. The concern had always been that so there's two things with knees. There's how straight you are, that is your extension, and then there's, I guess I should have done this way, and then how much you bend your knees backward, and that is called flexion. My extension they want you to be at 0% pretty quickly, and I'd say at 2.5 months I still was not fully extended. That seemed to be the greatest concern, and instead I had like a little hook in my knees. Finally got that straight. No one really talked too much about my flexion, and I really don't want to harp on or talk about all the things I could have, should have, would have. I wish I had done differently, but after about a year, I'm gonna go on. Excuse me, I don't know how to edit my tape, so that's going to be on there. After about a year of this, I realized that my flexion was very poor, and that I couldn't bend my knees. And I went to my doctor. He kind of said, "Well, you can't really do anything. I guess all the flexion you're going to get is within the first 3 to 4 months. After that, maybe a little bit more, but really not." And so I was kind of just stuck, Anyway, I started looking into it, and if that's what you are doing, you are at the right place. I ended up going back to my doctor again and saying, "I'm really not happy. Something has to be able to be done. I mean, we can get to, people to the moon. What can we do about my knees?" And he suggested I see another one of the surgeons who does knee revision surgery. and it's called knee revision. I looked it up, and people say it's anywhere between 3 to 6% of people go in and have their knee revised, their knee replacement revised for some reason. Sometimes it's poor flexion, sometimes it's something mechanical, sometimes it's because of, I guess, whatever medical reason they may have. Anyway, I discussed this with the doctor back in almost a year ago, actually. I think it was like February 20th last year, 2020. He said, let's talk about this, let's get this done. And then the pandemic hit. So that was bad. And then kind of just was in a holding pattern. Finally went back to him in May, and he was, when we didn't open up at all, obviously, but the world started opening a little bit more, and people were getting a little bit a better grip on what was going on with the pandemic. I went in, I talked to him, and we decided we were going to do my right knee first, because that was the worst knee. That was in 85 degrees, which means I was not able to make I'm not doing this right. I don't have any, I could not do, can I do it with my fingers? I could not make a right angle with my knee. So if you were to stand up straight and then try to bend your knee, that would be a right angle with my knee, and if this was my body. But I was like that. I was not quite at a right angle. Anyway, I was supposed to have it done in September. I think I talked about this. I had this calcific tendonitis issue that was so unbelievably painful that I actually thought I had broken my wrist because the pain was radiating down to my wrist. I had my last one of those. I was supposed to have surgery on the September 14th, which I decided to wait till after the summer. Because of this, I had to wait, and then I had my surgery on October 8th. So I'm a little over 4.5 months with my right knee. I went from 85, I'm right now about 120, which is huge for me. I'm a little disappointed. I would have liked to get to 125. I'm still working on it. It's what he tells me, it's like 120, 122, and push. It's called active, which is what you can do yourself, and passive is when someone's helping you push, and they can passively get me back to 126. So I'm very pleased. My doctor, when he first told me about this, said that when he has revision patients, if he can get them down back to 120, he described himself as being tickled pink. So he thinks I'm doing great. Unfortunately now, I have my left knee is still stuck at 85. So I'm somewhat hampered because my left knee doesn't bend as well as my right knee. So I am going in this Thursday to have my right knee redone, revised. I have to my left knee. I have to remember this, sorry. I'm just not happy about it, but I just want to strongly advise you that if you are someone who is not happy with your knee replacement, and you are having poor flexion or poor extension, that a knee revision is certainly an option for you. And I'm not a medical doctor, so it may not be an option for you if your doctor tells you otherwise, but I was pretty much it wasn't really given as an option until I brought it up. There are other interventional things that could have been and maybe should have been done for me. There's something called manipulation under anesthesia. That is I did not have that done. And again, it's kind of vague, and I kind of ask these questions and nobody really answers my questions. And so I guess I'm not someone who's going to ever take any action against someone. I just want to be able to bend my knees. As I said, I still have children who live at home, and most importantly, I hope to become a grandmother in 10 to 15 years, maybe 15 years. I hope to become a grandmother. I want to be able to get on the floor, or at very least be able to play with them instead of being able to, there's 150 things I could not do. I could not ride a bike because my knees didn't bend, and so when you ride a bike, your knee, well, I'm not doing the right motion, but your knees bend. I looked up, and I should have had it with me, or you need a knee bend, and my knee could not bend, so I literally couldn't ride a bike. The last time I tried to ride a bike, my right knee, which was worse at the time than my left, and now my left is worse than my right would slip out of off the pedals, because when I was trying to go like this, I couldn't get the knee to bend, so it was obviously dangerous and not good. I'm I'm a big believer in taking the bull by the horns, and so if you are someone who is not happy with your knee replacement, which I was not happy with my knee replacement, consider asking your doctor about having knee revision. I will tell you, I was on this last time with my right knee. I'm still in pain, by the way. I'm not great by any stretch of the imagination, but I can bend better. I have had other issues, including Baker's cyst, which is another whole topic, which I could probably do a video on right now. But I'm so distracted because there's beautiful, beautiful snow outside, which I'm going to show you at the end of the video. It's so beautiful, and I'm looking. My eyes are darting because I'm looking at that. It is not an easy surgery. It is a step down. Plus, I did my right one first, and then I'm doing my left one. It is a step down from a total knee replacement, pretty much, but it is not an easy surgery, and it's 4.5 months later. I'm still going to physical therapy, and I'm still trying to get better. So I just wanted to do it's supposed to be quick. It's now going on to 12 minutes now. A quick video to let you know that if you are not happy with your knee replacement surgery, there are things that you can do and that you should be asking your surgeon about. I'm just going to cut this off now because I could talk, but I do want to show you this beautiful snow out in my backyard. Look how beautiful that is. Wait, am I showing you the right thing? I hope you can see how beautiful that is. I hope I did that right. This is Leslie. Oh gosh, look at that light. This is Leslie. I'm going to cut this off. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to my video if you like this kind of content. I do all kinds of things. Thanks. Bye-bye.